What's up guys, Silver here with another Halo Master Chief Collection Achievement Guide. This time we're doing our last installment of Halo 4's LASO run. This is part 8. The mission is midnight, so to start this up, we're going to be in a broadsword and a flying segment to start, but we're quickly going to get out of the map. You want to start off by flying up towards the top of this trench, and then right before you get to the first archway, you want to head towards the left and get up and over the side of the wall over here. And as soon as you get over this wall, you want to head down and to the right and boost in this direction so you get back out of the soft kill zone. Here it is again in slow motion. You basically want to get on top of this wall and keep your nose angled slightly up so you end up dragging the belly of the broadsword on top of this wall. And once you're up here, you want to boost so you can get out of here as quickly as possible. We'll cut down to the right like I mentioned. You could see the screen started turning red because I was in the kill zone and it was about to kill me. But we made it out of there in time, and now you just want to follow this path. All I'm doing is flying along the trench, along the bottom left side of the trench, outside of the trench, but still we're following that general path. And once you get towards the end, you want to fly just under the first segment of the tunnel that starts curving towards the left. That will get the next chunk of tunnel to spawn in. And then we'll turn to the left and head in this direction now towards the end of what has spawned in now. So we're going to have to hit another load zone once we get up ahead here. I'm going to speed this part up once again. We're just flying straight towards the end of the tunnel, or what we could see of the tunnel at this point. We're going to hit another load zone. But up ahead here, you're going to see 3 pillars jutting down towards the bottom of the map. You want to fly in between these, but have the first one be a little bit above you, and you want to be above the bottom of the second one. This will ensure you hit the load zone, and you'll know you hit it because the game will freeze for a couple seconds, but don't worry, that's a good sign. We've turned to the right a little bit, and we're going to head towards this part of the tunnel now. We're going to fly under the spine of the tunnel down here, and we're going to turn to the right. You want to take this turn very wide because there's some invisible geometry, so just make sure you're taking it slow and wide so you don't crash into it. Make sure you stay at this level too. You don't want to fly up too close to the tunnel because you might crash into something that's invisible. But now we've looped around that segment. We're going to go back towards the end of the tunnel where we came from, and you can see a lot of it has despawned. Most of it has, so we're going to actually cut in here, follow this path, and we're going to get back into the tunnel so we could finish off this tunnel segment actually inside of the tunnel, because we have to actually enter it to finish off this little boss battle towards the end. You could get in a bunch of different ways, but this is definitely the easiest way. And you can see I'm not boosting or anything just to avoid crashing accidentally. You could just go at the regular idling speed, or you could even hold back, and that will get you to actually fly even slower if you really want to play it safe. But just follow this path. There's no enemies in here or anything shooting at you, so it's pretty safe and reliable. There is one segment right here, though, where we want to speed up because there's going to be a big door that falls down, and we need to get through it before it blocks our path. So at this point, just start heading down, speed through here. You can see the door falling down, and we're going to make it through very easily. Just make sure you aim for the bottom of that tunnel so you have as much time as possible to actually get through that point. And then we're going to speed into here. We're going to drift to the right a little bit, and we're going to cut in towards the middle, and that will allow us to shoot at this center point. Once it spawns in, we could blow that up. And then we have 4 points on the periphery of this area that we need to blow up with our chain gun or our missiles, either one. But just take a lap, and as we're looping around here, taking out these orbs, I like to just drive straight at these orbs and through the kind of structure that they're housed in, making it pretty much impossible to miss your shots. And you can see I'm pretty much ignoring all of the guns. There's a bunch of Forerunner turrets and guns set up around here. I ignore them because they're not really that effective at shooting you, and when they do, they don't really damage you too much. And on top of that, your broadsword shielding does recharge, unlike your personal energy shields, so you don't have to worry about that. The broadsword shields will go back up, just like the Mantis shields did in previous missions. So we're going to fly around here. We have one more to go. We're going to blow this up, and then there will be a cutscene that triggers, and then there will be a segment where we're on foot, where we're more comfortable, more used to playing LASO. So we're going to spawn in here. I calmly walk through these first 2 doors because I want to save my sprint and make sure I have it fully charged for when that second door does open up. So at that point, I want to start sprinting. We're going to skip a bunch of enemies, but you want to jump up and try to smack this watcher as you go so you can get some of your shield back. Then we'll continue on, and we're going to cut into the left, sprinting as fast as we can. You can see I'm using the infinite sprint exploit, which if you don't know is just sprinting, and then before it runs out, you jump, then quickly melee, then hit sprint again once you land. This basically allows you to recharge your sprint while you're flying through the air. But you can see I sent my hologram to the right while I went to the left. That will distract this scattershot guy who is scripted to go down to the ground and deploy a watcher so you can backsmack him when he does that. That will get your shield back up, and you can continue running on. And we're going to go into the right over here and just ignore all of these watchers. You could actually smack this one as he's trying to call in reinforcements, again to get your shield up. When speedrunning, people like to go in towards the left, but I like to go towards the right on LASO because speed is not a priority, and I feel it's more safe. You're further away from the enemies, and they tend to go more into a grenade throwing animation at that point as well, so it's just more safe in my experience. So we kind of took the long way. We wrapped around the room, and then we're going to drop down this shaft, and we'll head over in this direction. We're going to exchange our saw for a light rifle. So we have a light rifle and a BR now at this point. We also grabbed some pulse grenades from that crate, and now we could catch our breath a little bit. We have a pedestal towards the right that we're going to insert Cortana into. There's going to be some dialogue, and she'll open up a portal, which I've skipped ahead to here. There's going to be 5 crawlers in this room, and there's going to be 1 with a binary rifle, but we want to use our battle rifle to take these guys out because we are going to preserve our light rifle ammo for the next room. You want to try to preserve one of the crawlers that doesn't have the binary rifle, and that way you could smack them to get your shield back. It takes 4 melees to destroy a crawler and get your shield back. So unfortunately, I took out the last 2 that didn't have the binary rifle with 1 burst from the battle rifle, but that's okay. But we do want to pick up this binary rifle, so pick that up. We have a binary rifle and a light rifle now. In this room, we're going to head in this direction, just follow this path. We're going to sprint up and around to the right side, and we're going to kill 1 enemy at least, because that will guarantee that the portal will open up. Sometimes it doesn't open up if you kill nobody. So this guy spawns in right here, and we're going to try to smack him as he spawns in, but you can see I missed a little bit. But we were able to nail it right there at the end. Just wait for him to get into an animation of throwing grenades if you need to, and then you could wrap up around behind him. This guy is the dangerous one. He has an incineration cannon. He's throwing grenades, and you could see I was going to try to get behind him and go into the portal, but he actually crouched down, and you want to run away when you see that happening. You don't want to be near him because he actually sends out a shockwave all around him. So that's why I kind of diverted my path so I could avoid that. But in this room, there's a bunch of ammo, so you want to turn to the right. There's a bunch of binary rifle over here, so I filled up on that. There's more light rifle as well, so I'm full on that. And over towards the left, you can see there are a couple crates that have 2 plasma grenades on them, so we're going to grab 2 of these. So you'll have full grenades, 2 frags, 2 plasmas, 2 pulse grenades if you haven't used anything yet. Backsmack this guy as you come through to get the quick kill, and then we're going to back up. There's going to be 6 crawlers potentially that move up towards your position, so we're just going to hang back and shoot them with the light rifle from afar. It is possible to sprint past all these enemies and get through the teleporter down on the other end, but it's a little risky. It's not a guarantee or anything, so we're just going to take these guys out, and we'll be able to work our way down. So we're just finishing off these 6 crawlers. Sometimes one of the 6 or a couple of the 6 crawlers may stay down below, so if you find that there's nobody else moving forward, just feel free to move up. There should be more light rifle ammo where you killed that first knight when you came in, and we're going to go down here. There's going to be 2 more knights on this level, and you want to keep an eye on the lower level, even lower than this one, because there are 2 more knights down there, and one of them is an incineration cannon wielding knight, so you really want to pay attention to him in case he decides to come up here, which is very rare. He usually stays down there and waits for you to come to him, but occasionally he'll pop up here to this level that I was just at. So you can see I backed up a little bit because that second knight in that middle level there was giving me a little trouble, so we killed that first one quickly, but the second guy was not cooperating, so I'm just going to get him in an animation of throwing grenades again. He'll get stuck in that, and then I could wrap up around behind him. And you can see there's a watcher down at the lower level, so I'm going to actually back up and take this guy out with a binary rifle. The reason why I grabbed the binary rifle is specifically for these watchers, so you can take them out in 2 shots. So you want to get them so they're not moving, but be aware that they will start moving once you land that first shot. So shoot them once and then twice, and you'll be able to pick them off. Now we just have a handful of crawlers down there along with the 2 knights we were talking about earlier, and one has that incineration cannon, so we want to prioritize him. You could kind of get a view of the crawlers down there and try to pick one off real quick. 1 or 2 possibly, but we were not able to do so. I wasn't really feeling safe up there because the incineration cannon guy could obviously blow up your spot pretty quickly, so it's not that safe of a position up there. So I'm just going to go down, get a little closer to the area down there, and pick off the crawlers from close up. And of course, at any point you could take a risk and try to sprint towards the portal, and there's a decent chance you'll make it, but obviously every time you kill an enemy, your chances go up that you're going to make it to that portal. So sometimes it's just worth it to just take it nice and slowly and pick all these guys off. So we have the 2 knights down here now, and I want to prioritize this guy, of course, because he's the one that's going to be able to blow me up with 1 shot. And we're going to look over here now. There's the 1 remaining guy. I could have just sprinted towards the portal at that point, but I wanted to clean everything up at that point. I had 1 guy left, so I figured I'd clear out the whole room. And now we're good to go. We have a full light rifle ammo from all those light rifle wielding knights we killed, and we have a binary rifle. So we're going to pick off these 3 crawlers. We don't want to move forward because that will spawn in the knight very quickly, but if we hang back here, we have a lot more time to pick off these 3 crawlers with the light rifle, and then we could duck behind the cover over here once that knight does come in. And he's going to spawn a watcher, and he has a binary rifle, so he could kill you in 1 hit if you're not careful. So hide behind this cover. Once you kill those 3 crawlers, the knight comes in and he spawns in a watcher. We're going to wait behind the cover a little bit for the watcher to come towards us. He tends to always come towards us, and he's not able to get away the closer he gets to us. So we're going to shoot him once with the binary rifle, and then he runs away, and he's an easy shot for that second follow-up shot if he actually is closer to us. So that's why I waited a little bit for him to come towards us. And you know the drill here. We're just going to pop out and run towards this guy. You don't want to run straight at him because that's an easier shot for him. You just want to run towards the side, kind of try to start wrapping around him even if you're far away. Drift towards his right or his left. Don't go straight at him. We'll get into this dance that we've become so familiar with throughout all these missions in Halo 4, but we're not done dancing yet. Get this guy to start throwing grenades at you. We'll go around behind him and smack him in the back. You can see I'm struggling here. I'm smacking him in the back. I'm getting a bunch of cases of front back here. Back-to-back cases of front back, but third time's a charm. We're going to come up behind him and back smack him, and finally he goes down. We're going to grab additional light rifle ammo right here and also binary rifle from the gun he dropped. At this point, you want to look down the end of the bridge over here, and there's going to be a bunch of crawlers that spawn in along the walls and jump down and then start coming towards you. So you want to take these guys out as far away as possible so you don't have to deal with them close in. And if you're not a great shot with the light rifle, I would recommend waiting for them to get down onto the ground. They're much easier to shoot when they're on the ground, and they're much easier, even more so, to shoot on the ground when they're running directly at you. So you can see once they do land, they're easier to shoot, and even more so when they're running directly at you. So you could just kind of line up your shot, wait for them to put their stupid little faces in your reticle, and then pull the trigger. Always a bad move to run directly at somebody who has a light rifle, but that's exactly what they're doing, or that's exactly what they will do if you give them enough time. Let them get off that wall and start heading your way. So Cortana's taking control of the defense turrets. That's our cue to go back towards the ammo crate and grab additional light rifle ammo, fill up over here, and then we're going to head back to where we entered this area from and hide behind the barricades over here. And then we're just going to hang out here and just allow the local defense turrets to distract all these crawlers that are going to come in. And you can see these guys are now spawning from on top of the map in this area as well. So they're going to crawl down, so be aware that they might shoot you a little bit from up there, but it won't be a significant amount of incoming fire from above. So I just like to look up there on occasion, and mostly I'm going to be paying attention to directly in front of me. You can see all of those guys coming into view, and they're distracted by the turrets. You can't really wait for the turrets to take these guys out. They will actually slowly destroy all the turrets, but you really kind of want to just use them as a distraction more so than a way to actually kill the crawlers. You're going to be the one doing all the heavy lifting with the light rifle back here. So you can see this guy is coming in now from above. We're going to take him out. He didn't really get too many shots on us, if any, really. So we're going to take these guys out. And this part is fairly easy. Most of the enemies don't come towards you. You can see some of them are taking a little bit of interest, but we could easily headshot them before they get to us. And we're just waiting for Cortana to have some more dialogue indicating that we need to go pick her up. And at that point, we'll sprint ahead and grab more light rifle ammo and grab her out of that pedestal over there. And then we'll head down towards the left and get out of here with that portal that's going to appear over there. So we're just continuing to kill these guys. Again, fairly easy. We're just, laying into them as they're distracted mostly by the turrets up here. Making easy, short work of these guys. And eventually they will stop coming, I promise. You might have to move out and actually pick some off because they tend to get stuck where they're spawning up on top. More so if you're positioned over here, which happens sometimes. But we're good to go at this point. We're going to move over here and grab the light rifle ammo. We'll grab Cortana once this area is clear. You can see there's a few of these guys still over here coming at us, so we'll take these guys out. That guy fell off the map, so we're going to grab Cortana here. Don't exchange your weapon for a suppressor accidentally like I did there. Grab Cortana, grab your light rifle back if you accidentally put it on the ground, and we're going to move forward here. At this point, you really want to headshot a lot of these crawlers as quickly as possible so they don't build up. So we could get to the portal on the other side of this bridge, and you can see as we go forward, there's going to be a couple more turrets that spawn in on the left and the right, so that serves as another distraction so we could headshot these guys as they're kind of looking to the left and the right and running towards us. And we're going to use our hologram as we need to offer even more distraction. So you can see they were kind of making their way towards me, so I threw a hologram out to distract them. The faster you get through here, the better, because obviously the more time spent in this area, the more time they have to blow up those turrets, and then you have less distractions working in your favor, and then it just becomes harder and harder. So try to do this as fast as you can. And you can see here there is a lull in all the enemies running at us, so we're just going to take this opportunity to sprint towards the portal. We'll go through the portal, and I skipped ahead a little bit here. We go over a big man cannon, and we're kind of floating through this 0G for a little bit. And we get to this point, we want to turn to the right, and there's going to be additional binary rifle ammo and also light rifle, so we want to fill up on everything. So we have full binary, full light rifle, and we're going to head into this next section. We're going to put Cortana into the pedestal down below here, and then there's going to be a little bit of an in-game animation where Cortana splits her rampant personality spikes, or however she phrases it, into the system here, and then tries to overwhelm the Didact shield. So we're going to turn to the right at that point once she's done, and we're going to go over this man cannon And as we land up ahead here, we're going to sprint and run and jump to the right instead of going to the left. And we're going to land on this slanted segment here, and we could use this as cover. So we're going to hang out here and kill these couple crawlers, and we want to keep an eye on that Watcher. As soon as that Watcher starts spawning in additional enemies, we want to take out our binary rifle, shoot him twice, that'll take him out, and hopefully if you do it fast enough, it will prevent additional enemies from spawning in. So it looks like we got him in time. It's not the end of the world. If you don't kill him fast enough, he'll just spawn in additional crawlers that you have to deal with. So nothing big or crazy, but obviously it makes it easier if you take them out quickly and prevent additional people from coming in. So we still have a few crawlers over here by the doorway to the ramp. So just keep an eye at the bottom of the ramp there. There's going to be a couple more that pop out, and we found one here, kind of hanging off the side of the doorway there. And is there another one I saw? Yeah, there is. Got him too. So now we'll move over here to the right, and you can see in the distance there is a wall with nothing on it. We're going to move forward and spawn in the binary rifle wielding crawler. So he'll be on that wall, and we could take him out from this angle over here before we get too close for comfort. So we'll turn around and take a look at the wall again, and we're going to find that there is a crawler hanging out over there now. So we'll take him out with a headshot, and then we can move forward knowing that we won't get vaporized all of a sudden by a binary rifle at least. There's other ways we could die, but at least it won't be that way. So we're going to move up ahead now, and we can take out crawlers from afar. This is another part that you want to be ready with the binary rifle, because there's going to be a Watcher that spawns in additional crawlers on the left platform up there. So pick off crawlers as you see them, and then as soon as you see this guy come over here and try to start spawning in additional crawlers, just pick them off with the binary rifle. And again, if you don't pick them off in time, no worries. It's not the biggest deal in the world. It just spawns in additional crawlers, so you'll have to just hang back here for a little while longer, picking off more crawlers than you would have to if you picked off that guy faster. But the other upside to quickly taking out the Watcher is they're super easy to take out when they're standing still and spawning in enemies. So if they wind up spawning in those crawlers and then escaping with their lives, you'll just have to deal with them as you would normally, which isn't too bad. Obviously, you just binary rifle them all the same, but they will try to dodge out of the way for that second shot because they are not busy spawning in crawlers. But we'll move forward here once we've cleared out as much as we can from down here. As we head over here, you can see there is a light rifle crate, so fill up right there. Plenty of light rifle ammo in there to go around. And then we're going to head into here, and there's another crate with an incineration cannon, so we're going to exchange our binary rifle for an incineration cannon. Get the attention of this Watcher and make sure it's facing you, and then we're just going to unload on it with an incineration cannon round. If you sneak up on it and try to shoot it when it's not looking at you, it will probably dodge out of the way. It's actually easier to hit when it's aware of you because it doesn't dodge nearly as much, and it's also a bigger target when it's looking at you. But we'll switch back to our trusty light rifle at this point. There's probably a couple crawlers still alive on this platform. You could approach from this angle, or you could wrap up around the ramps on the other side. You can see I don't have any shield right now, so I'm trying to get to this crawler, this last crawler, so I could smack it 4 times to get my shield back. Remember, it takes 4 smacks to fully kill a crawler. So we're smacking it. We're also spinning around it just like we would if it was a grunt or an elite. This ensures it has a much tougher time actually shooting at you. We'll head up to the top of the ramps here, and before we activate this button and spawn in additional enemies, there's going to be 3 crawlers across the gap towards the left here. So we're going to take these guys out first before we spawn in reinforcements for them. It's always easier to divide and conquer, so keep them separated, much easier to deal with. We got 2 of the 3, now 3 of the 3. So we're going to activate this button now. That will activate the light bridge, the hard light bridge over here. And at this point, there will be more crawlers that spawn in along with 1 Watcher. So we could look towards the right, and we'll be able to pick off a bunch of the crawlers that are over on that side, and we could always look to the left. They're always going to be moving in and out of cover, so just kind of stay over here, keep your distance, and we could safely pick off most of these crawlers from a safe distance without taking any damage. Eventually, once we take out enough of these crawlers, there's going to be an incineration cannon wielding knight that spawns in, so we'll have to deal with him along with the Watcher and any remaining crawlers that we haven't taken care of. So just be aware of that. We're going to take out the knight by, again, getting him to get in that animation of throwing grenades, and we're going to take out the Watcher by using the incineration cannon. So we've moved across. We're now on the platform where all of the enemies are, so we're going to take these guys out. We're just checking the corners. Like I mentioned, you want to wait for the Watcher to be aware of you and be not moving before you shoot an incineration round at it. But as you can see from this distance, it does have enough time to react, so we want to get a little closer before we do it again. I just dropped down here to grab more light rifle ammo, so I don't have to worry about that. I am now full on light rifle. I'm going to head back up the ramps here and wrap around to the top of the platform where the knight and the Watcher are still waiting for us. And we're going to take out this Watcher this time around because we're going to get closer. And you can see even from long distance, it barely had time to actually react and dodge out of the way. So if we get even a little bit closer, it'll definitely connect with the Watcher. So we were definitely close enough there, and we are now getting this guy into the animation of throwing grenades, and then we'll time it so when he throws that last grenade, we'll be able to wrap up around behind him and smack him in the back. We want to grab his ammo because he has an incineration cannon, obviously, so we want to fill up on our incineration cannon as much as possible. We'll go up to the pedestal over here with our full light rifle and our as full as could be incineration cannon, however much we gathered. insert Cortana, she'll split apart again, and then we'll go over towards the gravity lift on the right side. We're going to skip this whole segment as we land. You want to just follow the path that I take here. You want to sprint and head in this direction as soon as you land, and we're going to jump up on top of all these structures here so we could get up onto the top, and then we'll be able to jump down on the other side. But first, we want to kind of hide behind this light rifle crate. This offers some good cover and also just a little bit of a breather. Wait for the enemies to stop shooting at you, then you could jump out over here on the right side, go over this grav lift, and we'll be able to make it to the other segment over here. As we land over here, we want to start sprinting as well because there's going to be a knight that spawns in, and we want to quickly assassinate him. So get him to start throwing grenades, and you just want to wrap around him to the left or the right, and then get him behind him, backsmack him as you time that grenade throw of his. We got another case of front back, which is not ideal because you quickly want to turn your attention to the other knight and the crawlers. So all these guys shooting you at once could be cause for concern, but we were able to quickly recover and kill that first knight. Killed one of the crawlers, but we have a few left. I'm going to use this structure for cover, but you could always use the slanted edge of the map that we used back in the beginning of this section if you'd like. Now we just have this knight to deal with, and he deployed a watcher. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't deploy that watcher, but if he does, just use the incineration cannon to quickly kill him. Just wait for the watcher to, again, not be moving, so it's an easy shot. Now we just have this one knight to deal with, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again, we just need to get him in the animation of throwing grenades at us, and then we can wrap up around behind him. One thing you want to be aware of when you're doing this, though, is the fact that there might be some crawlers in that doorway towards the ramp that leads up to the top of the map, so you want to just kind of be aware of that so you don't get flanked by those guys while you're tangoing with the knight. And speaking of those crawlers in that doorway at the top of the ramp, that's what I'm shooting at right now. So take these guys out. You can see I'm using the edge of the map for cover like we did back in the previous section when we first entered this big area with the composer. So now we're going to move up this ramp that it's cleared out, and there's going to be a couple of crawlers probably up here along with two knights. One has a scatter shot, so he's the priority. He's the most dangerous one, so we'll take him out. We've got both of them chucking grenades, so this is ideal. We're going to wrap around this guy, smack him, then we'll do the same to his buddy over here, his synchronized pulse grenade thrower. I wonder if that was an event in the Olympics in the back in the Forerunner days. Either way, they're dead. We're going to gather supplies at this point. There's light rifle ammo from that guy we just killed, and if you need more, there's going to be a big crate of light rifle ammo in the exact same spot as the previous section that looked exactly like this. We're going to activate this button and immediately move to the right. That will get one of the knights to move towards us across the bridge so we could take him on one-on-one to make it a little easier to deal with him. I actually sidestepped his melee and was able to give him a smack of my own there. I planned on getting him to go into the animation of nade throwing like we've been doing, but that works just as well if you could do it, if you could pull it off. We'll go across the bridge and kill Knight 2 of 7 here on top of this structure. There's going to be 5 at first, and then a 6th one spawns in with a scatter shot, and a 7th one spawns in with an incineration cannon. So I like to think of these guys up here as the Utah Jazz, and I'm Michael Jordan here, and this is the last dance because there's a lot of dancing happening up here. You can see there's some front back, and you can see when I mistime my wrapping around these guys, I just totally bail and just run away. So that's always better because if you don't bail when you're mistiming something, they're just going to wind up smacking you in the face, and that could be fatal. So I just kind of disengage when I find that's happening, when I'm mistiming something. But after you kill 2, you want to actually head towards where you insert Cortana into the pedestal, because that's where the scatter shot and the incineration cannon guy spawn in, and you could actually backsmack them as they spawn in if you time it right. The incineration cannon spawns in after you kill the scatter shot, and the scatter shot spawns in after you kill 2 or 3 of the initial 5 enemies that are up here. So I've already killed 2, and the scatter shot guy still isn't here. I want to kill the 3rd guy when I'm around this area because that will get me to be close to the scatter shot guy as he spawns in, and I could backsmack him, but they're all very far away from this position, so I'm just going to have to suck it up and go towards them and just deal with the scatter shot guy without that advantage of getting behind him. So we're going to go over here, and we're going to assassinate one of these guys, one of these 3. We'll pick this guy over here. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll get this guy in the middle, and then we'll see that the scatter shot is spawned in, and now we're going to go towards that scatter shot. I'm going to kill him while he's back there towards that pedestal, towards the tip of this area. I'm going to backsmack him so I could quickly turn around and assassinate the incineration cannon guy as he spawns in here. That was Carl Malone and John Stockton we just took out, so we just have the other guys on the team to deal with now. But don't get too cocky. This is still LASO, and we still have 2 knights to deal with. They could easily kill us in one smack if we time things wrong. And never mind, we could get cocky. This guy has no idea what he's doing. He's just running into a wall. Maybe this last guy will be a more formidable foe, and looks like it so far. He actually sees me and is throwing grenades at me, so he's got that going for him. But you can see right there was a perfect example of me mistiming my wrapping around behind him, so I just totally bailed on the attempt. If I went in and tried to smack him, I would just hit him in the side, and he would have slapped me right across the face, probably across the map, into the composer, and I would have died. So just disengage. Feel free to disengage. They're just going to continue to throw pulse grenades at you, so it's not that big of a deal if you miss that first attempt. It's better to take your time and get in a good solid attempt than a haphazard attempt. But this last guy is giving me issues. Sometimes I'm nailing the timing and actually just getting front back Other times I'm just not hitting the timing, but we got him on that last attempt, so we could finally rest easy that we've completed that last part. We do have one more part to go with some enemies that could kill us, so I'm just speeding this part up, getting full light rifle, getting as much incineration cannon ammo as we could get. We'll head down towards this man cannon, and you want to have your incineration cannon out because we are going to use this to knock back the first knight down here. So he's going to spawn in towards the right, shoot right as he spawns in. That will actually not kill him, but it will push him off the map, and he'll die that way. So then we're going to focus our attention on these two last guys up top here. We're going to push these guys back, ideally off the map. So I'm not trying to kill these guys necessarily, but I want to just use this incineration cannon to shove them off the map. So we did so there with that second one. Now we could hopefully do it with the third one. I missed. If I landed that shot, that would have definitely knocked him off the map. But we'll just try to kill this guy now because he's not in a good position to push off the map. But we could lay into him with the incineration cannon that we have remaining and then just try to finish him off with grenades. I have 6 grenades still because I don't really use them ever. I have a full light rifle, so you could try to land the headshot after you weaken them enough. You could also get them to start throwing grenades at you like we have for all the other knights. But it's tough to do that if there's more than one of these guys still alive because they like to do the squat pulse thing, which is when you get close enough, they squat down and jump up and send out a giant pulse of energy, which could just blast you off the map. So that's why I didn't do that here. I used the incineration strategy to push them off the map instead, but you could certainly dance with them if there's only one left, and you could if there's more than one. It's just riskier since they're not regular knights and they do the squat pulse. But don't put down that controller yet. You could still die here. As you run at the Didact, you want to just mash the throw grenade button to ensure that you get the right timing. You don't get that prompt with the blind skull on, so just mash that throw grenade button until you're sure you've planted it. The grenade will go off and the Didact will fall down into the Composer. Not dead, defeated, but not dead. He'll come back later. Definitely not in Halo 5 though, but we skipped ahead a little bit. You just crawl towards the nuke here. You look up at Earth or down at Earth, however you want to look at it. The perspective is kind of wonky here. You'll look back at the nuke, and at this point you just want to mash whatever button you use to fire a regular weapon, because again, you will not be prompted due to the blind skull. That'll set off the nuke, that'll trigger the cutscene for the end of Midnight, and that is it as far as gameplay is involved. You'll have to watch the next series of cutscenes in Epilogue, but that's it. Thanks everyone for watching. We finally reached the end of our LASO 2.0 journey. Improved LASO guides for Reach, CE, Halo 2, Halo 3, ODST, and now finally Halo 4. Maybe LASO 3.0 one day, once we find enough improvements? Maybe, but for now we'll just Halo and chill until Infinite drops, and there's a good chance I'll be putting out some H5, Halo 5, Guardians, LASO guides in between now and then to pass the time, so keep an eye out for those, and I'll see you guys later for more Halo achievements. Thanks for watching, guys. If you found that video helpful, be sure to click on the scorpion icon to subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. You could also check out some related guides by clicking on the videos on screen, and you could find links in the description for other social media links of mine. Stay tuned for more Halo guides, and I'll see you in the next one.